This is the Adjutant. When most people picture millionaires, they imagine entrepreneurs, tech founders, investors, or celebrities. What almost no one imagines is a staff sergeant or a chief petty officer or a retired master sergeant quietly living in a paid-off home, collecting steady income, traveling when they want, and never worrying about money again. Because across the United States, thousands of military retirees have done exactly just that. Not because they earned enormous salaries, not because they got lucky, and not because they discovered some secret investment strategy. They became wealthy because they participated in one of the most powerful long-term wealth systems in America, a system hiding in plain sight. And what is that system? The United States military. Today, I'm going to walk you through the specific benefits that quietly creates millionaires and why, despite having access to all of them, many service members never reach their full financial potential. We're going to start off by talking about the myth of military pay. Now, let's start with the biggest misconception. Military personnel do not become wealthy because they are paid a lot. Compared to many civilian professions requiring similar responsibility, risk, and time commitment, military salaries are actually just modest. If income alone determined wealth, military service would not produce financially secure retirees. But wealth is not created by income alone. Wealth is created by a combination of income, stability, time, risk reduction, and access to powerful financial tools. The military provides all of those simultaneously. Now, most civilians don't begin serious financial life until their mid-20s. You have college, debt, entry-level jobs, uncertainty. Service members, on the other hand, often begin full-time employment at the age of 18 or 19, and unlike civilian entry-level workers, they receive housing support, food allowance, health care, steady pay, structured promotions, and retirement eligibility from day one. This means that service members can start building access nearly a decade earlier than many civilians, and time is the single most powerful force in wealth creation. Money invested at 20 has dramatically more impact than money invested, say, at 35. Even modest contributions, given enough time, can grow into substantial wealth. Now we're going to talk about benefit number one, and that is the pension, a permanent financial foundation. Now, the military pension is not just retirement income, it's financial gravity. After 20 years of service, retirees receive inflation-adjusted income for the rest of their lives. No market risk, no employer dependency, no need to manage withdrawal rates. This creates something most civilians never achieve, a permanent financial floor. From a wealth perspective, that is just transformative. A person with guaranteed lifetime income can afford to take career risk, invest more aggressively, start businesses, work part-time, or, not work at all. Now, many retirees begin collecting this income in their 30s or early 40s, decades before traditional retirement age. Why? Because they started early. For example, I started in the military 10 days after graduating from high school, and I had signed up for the delayed entry program at the age of 17. Now, that means that they can build a second career while already financially stabilized. Some military millionaires didn't get rich after retirement. They got rich because retirement gave them the freedom to pursue wealth-building opportunities without fear or failure. And that is phenomenal. Let's talk about benefit number two, the Thrift Savings Plan, quiet compound growth. Now, the TSP is one of the most efficient retirement accounts available anywhere. Why? Low fees, simple investment options, automatic payroll contributions, government matching under the blended retirement system. Service members who constantly contribute, especially early, harness the power of compound growth. Compound growth does not look dramatic in the early years, but over decades, it becomes extraordinary. Now, a modest investment begun say at age 20 can grow into hundreds of thousands or more by retirement. Not because of stock picking genius, because of consistency. The TSP rewards discipline, not brilliance. And discipline is something the military trains exceptionally well. All right. Now we're going to talk about benefit number 3, the VA loan real estate acceleration. And boy, I tell you, that's a phenomenal program. And let's go ahead and get right on into it. The real estate has created enormous wealth across generations. The VA loan removes one of the biggest barriers to entry in the real estate market. What is that? It's the down payment. With no down payment required and favorable terms, service members can purchase homes much earlier than most civilians. This leads to earlier equity accumulation, earlier appreciation, and the possibility of converting previous homes into rental properties. Some military members move very few years during their assignments in the military. Now, it's an inconvenience operationally, but potentially a powerful wealth engine if managed strategically. Some military members move every few years due to assignments. It's an inconvenience operationally, but potentially a powerful wealth engine if it's managed strategically. Now, each move can become an opportunity to acquire another property. Over time, this can result in a portfolio that produces both appreciation and income. Now, many quiet military millionaires built their wealth not from salaries, but from property ownership accumulated over decades. Now we're going to talk about benefit number 4, the education benefits, income leverage without debt. What do I mean by that? Well, the GI Bill is more than an education program. It is a debt avoidance system. Student loan debt delays wealth building for millions of Americans. Monthly payments reduce disposable income. Interest compounds in the wrong direction. Financial flexibility just disappears. Now, service members who use education benefits effectively can obtain degrees, and without this burden, often while reviewing or receiving housing support during school. That means they can enter higher earning careers without starting behind financially. Debt-free education dramatically increases the speed at which wealth can be built. That brings us to benefit number 5, healthcare, protecting wealth from catastrophe. Now, healthcare costs is one of the greatest threats to long-term financial security. A single major illness can wipe out savings accumulated over decades. Military retirees often retain access to affordable healthcare for life. This protection cannot be overstated, folks. Wealth is not only about accumulation, it is about preservation. When catastrophic risks are controlled, long-term plans remain intact. Families remain stable. Retirement savings remain available for their intended purpose. That's important. The power of stability. Another underappreciated advantage is stability itself. You have regular paychecks, sound structure advancement, predictable benefits. Now, while civilian careers may offer higher peaks, they also carry higher volatility. Periods of unemployment, layoffs, or career resets can erase years of financial progress. Military service reduces these disruptions. Consistency allows planning. Planning enables long-term strategy, and strategy produces results. Why many service members still don't become wealthy? Despite access to all these advantages, not everyone becomes financially secure. Why? Because benefits are tools, they're not outcomes. Common pitfalls include things such as not contributing to retirement accounts, high consumer debt, frequent lifestyle inflation, poor financial education, short-term thinking. The system is powerful, but it requires participation. Now let's talk about the quiet millionaire. And this is what the quiet millionaire profile looks like. Many military millionaires don't actually look like millionaires. They drive modest vehicles. They live in ordinary neighborhoods. They maintain disciplined spending habits. Their wealth is not performative. It is structural. Assets is not appearances. Income streams, not status symbols. Financial independence often looks surprisingly normal from the outside. Now, the combined effect, a system, not individual benefits. Individually, each benefit is helpful. Combined, they are extraordinary. Pensions providing a baseline income. TSP providing long-term growth. Real estate building equity and cash flow. Education increasing earning power. Healthcare protecting assets. And early timeline amplifying compounding. This is why the military can function as a wealth creation system and not just a job. Now, the most financially successful service members tend to follow a pattern. Early in career, they build habits and contribute consistently. Mid-career, they acquire assets and increase investments. And late in career, they prepare transition plans and income streams. None of this requires perfection. It requires awareness and persistence. There is also a psychological component to all of this. Military training emphasizes discipline, delayed gratification, and mission focus. These traits translate directly into effective long-term investing and financial behavior. Wealth building is rarely about brilliance. It's about sustained execution over time. Now, there's the opportunity that most people never see. Now, from the outside, the military service can look financially limiting. From the inside, used strategically, it can actually be quite liberating. It provides the tools that many civilians spend decades trying to assemble on their own. Now, the military does not automatically make everyone wealthy, but creates conditions where wealth is achievable through ordinary, consistent behavior. You don't need to be exceptional. You need to be intentional. If you want to understand just how powerful this system can be compared to civilian careers, the next video you should watch is Military versus Civilian Wealth Over 30 Years. And if your goal is long-term financial security, go through the entire Military Wealth Masterclass playlist. It is designed to give you a complete roadmap from your first enlistment decision all the way through retirement. Because the military is not just your career. Used correctly, it can be a launch platform for financial independence. This is the Adjutant, and I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.